This is Beaverville. Come on in.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
It's Bob here. I got a question.
You'll be salivating when you see it.
I woke up yesterday morning with a spring in my step.
Start later, please.
I could never know if the day was
Fast forward ahead.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang. Yes. Boy, that is good news.
It is the 13th day of March. Holy moly. 13th day of March. Hi, my name is Chris Hockey. It's Thursday morning, best day of the week. Tommy Olsen, Ben Lieber, a cast of thousands. Harrison Smith is coming back. Are you kidding me? And speaking of coming back, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the country. Max Fuller. My main man, Max, is back. Everybody's back. Look at us all together like a family. Here's some comedy from Rocky Laporte on a beautiful Thursday morning. Now, listen, my name is Chris Hockey, and I love to see your face. I love to see you walk through that door. I'd like to be breathing the same air as you. So come on in. I am glad you are here.
I had to get divorced. My ex-wife, she used to talk to me like I'm an idiot. Everything I say, she'd correct me, and I couldn't take it no more. I'm like, Lisa, quit correcting me. She's like, my name's Sheila. Yeah, it was stuff like that every day. And she argued with anybody, people like that. They argue all the time with people. We went to a psychic one time, and he was telling her stuff she didn't want to hear. She gets in an argument with a guy. Who argues with a psychic, first of all? They don't even... He goes, your wife's a lunatic. I'm like, this guy's good. Wow. I know, and I didn't tell him nothing. I read that book, The Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Phoenix. You ever read that? I like being divorced. I get to do different things now, like talk and stuff.
Jeff, look at this thing. The big knockers.
Finish line is waiting. Fate is on your side. You hear the distant thunder. There's lightning in your stride.
Yes, the band is back together. The Minnesota Vikings putting everything together. Harrison Smith coming back for a 14th season, and Max Fuller coming back for a 14th year on the Power Trip Morning Show. Look at Max.
That's the bigger story.
Welcome back, bonjour.
I cannot wait to hear.
Fuller.
Oh my goodness, the things you must have done and seen. The people you must have done and seen.
You got that right, brother. Yeah. I was a regular Carmen Sandiego, 7 countries in 14 days.
Your boy countries? I thought it was supposed to be 4. What happened?
Plans changed. Don't hold me back, Cor.
Man, 7.
Let me spread my wings.
Wow. How many people out there and how many people in this room have never been to 7 countries? You just went in one trip to 7 countries.
Yeah, I think I'm total at 26 now.
Holy balls.
I'm only like, 10% of my life goal, There's like 200 out there.
Got a long way to go.
Still got a long way to go.
You can do. We got a long ways to go. A long time to get there. List them off. What were the 7?
Well, I started in England. That's why, but I'd already been to London before, so I didn't do anything crazy there. Just got some fish and chips, got drunk in front of the Queen or King's Palace or whatever. Kind of just watched the guys with the Marge Simpson things on their heads do their whole bit and everything. And then I went from there to Tunisia, my first foray into Africa.
Wow.
And let me just say, Tunisia is not for the faint of heart.
Is that right?
Yeah.
In what way? Just super intimidating?
In a lot of ways, yeah. It's a developing country, so obviously, you're seeing people live pretty roughly in certain parts of town. And Tunis, specifically the capital, is the most claustrophobic city I've ever been to in my life. Like, Hawk, I literally thought about you when I was there. I was like, it would be a nightmare for you. There's way too many people in a very, very small radius. And traffic is insane. There's no lights. You basically just run right through traffic. And everyone's doing it. You just have to hope that someone slows down. They usually don't. So you just have to run really fast. And have these really tiny, tiny alleyways that there's hundreds and hundreds of people walking through, and they're lined with shops. People are constantly trying to sell you something, harassing, they're yelling at you in Arabic. They might have just been saying hello. I don't know. I have no idea. But they were trying to sell it. They can't sell me nothing if I can't understand what they're saying. But it's like the tightest little alleyways ever, and there's no signage, so you have no idea where you're going. At one point, I'm like, I'll just walk to the end of this alleyway, and I was walking for an hour, and I was just in these really small passages, and everything. I mean, if you're lucky, something is in French, but otherwise everything is in Arabic, and almost nobody speaks English at all. And I have no basis of Arabic whatsoever. I was just ordering stuff. I just was pointing. They're asking me questions, and I was just like, yep. And they ended up bringing out like 3 dishes every time. And I'm like, I guess I just ordered a bunch more food. I had no idea what was going on there, but it was a lot of fun. It ended up being a lot of fun when I got to adventure kind of outside of the Tunis capital. And I got to go to Carthage, where there was ruins from BC. I felt like Indiana Jones, just like wandering through old villages from the Roman days and everything. It was truly like one of the coolest things I've ever did to see the ruins. And it was just a cool moment. Like I saw these kids in Metallica t-shirts just running through the ruins, just playing. And I'm like, these kids have no freaking idea that they're just wandering around in history right now.
So you were in ancient Carthage.
Yeah.
Which dates back to 800 BC.
Wow.
And I would never have guessed you go to Tunisia and there's ruins like this.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
It was sweet, man. It was really cool. And on the way, I almost got shot by the police on the way there. Funny.
You had
the more things change, the more things stay the same.
Daughter, wife, what?
Google Maps they told me to go through this gate. And so I saw a lady go through the gate, so I was like, oh, maybe I can too. So I tried to pull on it a little bit, didn't open. So I'm like, okay. And then I turned, and the guy yelled at me, and I turned around, and he's pointing his gun at me.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, hey, just here to try to see Carthage, man. Just here to try to, and it's really scary because literally, I think less than 5% of the population speaks English. So I don't think he knows what I'm saying. I don't know what he's saying, but eventually I think he heard Carthage, and he's like, okay, just go the other way. But it was a terrifying kind of harrowing moment. And yeah, it's just the kind of place when the sun sets, I set. I'm not wandering the streets of Tunisia at nighttime, but it ended up being a really beautiful city. And it was, and I had a really good time there. So that was awesome. And it was cool to finally get to Africa. I've met 6 of the 7 continents now, which is nuts. Just got to get to Antarctica.
Insane.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. Especially because I never rode a plane until 2018. Like this is all.
That's hustling. Yeah, man. Good for you.
And we had a pandemic.
Yeah, no.
So it's not like you've been nonstop traveling for 7 years.
Right.
Man, you walked the streets where Hannibal walked, man. I mean, come
Hannibal
on.
Buress?
Yeah, he's a great comedian.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
It was really cool to see. And Tunisia, it had obviously its African influences. It had the influence of like French and Italian kind of. It was like a developing country's version of like Italy or France. And so it was cool to see where they're headed, but obviously just talking and meeting people, which I didn't make a whole lot of friends, but I literally made a friend just because it was the first time I heard someone speaking English in 2 days. And I was just like, hey, heard you guys speaking English. What's up, man? What's going on? and then we just became friends. She took me around the town. So she took me to all the local spots and everything, and you know what I'm saying, the local spot, you know what I'm saying?
So you went to Tunisia by yourself?
Yep, went to Tunisia completely alone. Went from there to Malta by myself, and just a beautiful, beautiful island. One of the coolest places that I've ever been. Picturesque. It's everywhere you go is a postcard view. It's got these ancient cities. It's got the bluest water you've ever seen in your entire life. You could see right through it. Like it's incredible. Everybody there speaks English. It's like Maltese people are like a mix of Mediterranean, Italian, and African. And so you just see that in their food, in their architecture, in the way they dress and everything. And actually really the way that people, they reminded me of when I was in Hungary. Because people are very amused by me. You know, I'm like in historic places. There's all these beautiful castles and ancient buildings, and people are looking at me and taking pictures of me and coming up to me and shaking my hand and stuff. So it was cool. Like I definitely felt like I was treated a lot better in Europe this time around than I
Did you
was.
take a boat to Malta?
I flew there from Tunisia to Malta. It was an hour flight.
Yeah, I was going to say, Malta's a little island in the middle of the Aegean, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. And I flew in I'm pretty sure I flew in the plane that the Wright brothers first flew in. I was like, man, Lord, please let me get through this. I would go to church every Sunday.
Oh my God.
It was a thank God it was only an hour long flight, because I don't know if we would have made it. It was a harrowing flight. But yeah, Malta was amazing. I ended up staying at this place right by the sea that had a little terrace on the rooftop. It was incredible.
It looks like it's the size of St. Louis Park. It looks tiny.
Yeah,
I think Rosie's spot. Yeah. Rosie loves Malta.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't see him out there.
Well, yeah, Ben's been there.
Yeah. So now he's going all the time.
Wow.
I think it's the 10th smallest country in the world or something like that.
Was it expensive as hell?
No, everything was super cheap. They have this stuff, pastizzi, like the street food that they eat. It was like the equivalent of 50 cents, basically.
Wow.
So everything was super duper cheap. Everything was affordable. Yeah, I could have bought, if I had another bag, I could have bought all the fake Gucci and Cartier I wanted. They had it all for like $7. And it was incredible. I took a boat when I was over there to like a smaller island called Gozo. They got sea caves and this thing called the Blue Lagoon, and it's the bluest, clearest water probably on planet Earth.
It's not the Blue Lagoon, is it?
I don't know. I don't know if it's the Blue Lagoon, but it is a Blue Lagoon.
There was a movie with Brooke Shields called The Blue Lagoon.
No, I've never seen that. But they have a whole thing. Like there was tons of movies filmed there, so it was really cool to kind of go to different movie spots. I think Game of Thrones was partially filmed there or something like that. So it was a lot of fun, and it was their carnival. So I kind of just wandered into a carnival situation randomly.
My God.
I'm exploring the streets, these ancient castles and stuff, and I wandered into a carnival, and I ended up making a friend with, I'm not joking, no hyperbole, the most beautiful woman that I've ever seen in my entire freaking life. We took when we took the boat to the other island, I saw her, and everybody's dressed like it's summertime, like it's island time, and she has a suit and dress pants and dress shoes, and I'm just like, holy bleep, she's so I literally thought in my head, she's so fine that I will never be able to talk to a woman like that. And then I walked past her when we were on the island, and she goes, excuse me, do you know you have something in your hair? And she thought someone like put my pick in my hair and I didn't know. Like I forgot it in there or something. So she was just looking out for me. And then we ended up making friends. She was from Albania. I don't know her name because I was just shocked that she was talking to me. It was literally one of those situations where it's like, hey, so you're Jen and I'm Max. I mean, I'm Max and you're Jen. Oh gosh, no. Oh my God. I just couldn't believe that she was even talking to me. And then, we ended up hanging out for the day. When got dinner later on at the night time. It was just fun.
And you don't know her name?
No, I have no idea what her name. I have her on WhatsApp, but I can't ask her name now.
No.
Yes! Hey! Bonjour! Good to see you, brother.
Oh my! Wow. Well, listen. I mean, so let's put a pin in Malta for a second.
Yeah.
So we can go to break, but. Wow, just that part, Corey. Just that part.
That's sweet, dude.
Look at him.
Good for you.
By
man.
himself.
Yeah.
I was bragging going to Vegas by myself like I had balls.
Right. I wish I had a conversation starter like a pick in my hair.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have some kind of defining thing.
I should have hair.
You should. Yeah. I got to actually go to Vegas on my way. I had a layover. It was my first time going to the Strip.
How long did you stay?
I was there for like 5 hours. Yeah. And so I just walked the entire Strip. I was higher than the price of eggs. Oh my God, I was out of my mind. And craziest thing. Well, first of all, at first when you're driving out of the airport, I'm like, hold on. Have these guys been lying to me this whole time? This looks like ass. This sucks.
Well, what time of day were you?
It was like in the middle. It was like early morning. But then when you first turn onto the Strip, then it's like, whoa, okay, now I get it. I'm seeing gondolas. I'm seeing slabs. Bumblebee from Transformers chased me down the street trying to touch my afro. It was crazy. I met a listener out there. It was insane. It was probably the worst possible moment because my eyes were closed. I could not see. I was so high. I could have whispered in the moon's ear. And this guy was like, Max, you don't know me, but I listen to you all the time. I'm from North Dakota. And I had my friend on my phone. Otherwise, no, I don't think I would even believe myself. I couldn't believe that someone came up to me on halfway across the country and was like, "Yeah, I know you from the Power Trip Morning Show."
Tommy, look at that. Look at him living his life.
I love it.
I know it's the best, isn't it?
I can't wait to hear the off-air story. Bonjour.
Oh, yeah.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
So we will eventually pick it back up in Malta, find out where he went next. But we do have breaking news over the overnight.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not good news, sadly.
No.
Our buddy Ben Johnson is no longer the head coach for Golden Gopher men's basketball.
Damn.
Yeah. He did his best. I don't know what else to tell you, right?
Right, 100%.
Well, who are you going to hire to do better, right?
At 1:19 in the morning.
Jeez. Really?
Yeah, they didn't want riots.
Why?
Because Max was still in Malta.
Yeah. That sucks. More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on The Fan. What a weird season for the Gopher basketball team, too, right? They had a couple of signature wins, and you're like, man, maybe they got it figured out.
Yeah.
And then just a couple of absolute head scratchers. Like, how do you lose to that team? And one of them was yesterday. They just never looked like they were going to win that game. And they didn't, and they're out of the Big Ten tournament. And then Ben Johnson gets the boot.
It's a full restart now. That's tough.
It is, man. And again, I don't know what you do to do better than he did. You know what I mean?
Because we heard so many of the stories, right, about how big of a problem the NIL is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, who said this a week or two ago? So I think somebody wrote a story about it.
John Paul IV.
So it was Pope John Paul IV.
Yeah.
And he said a lot of things that were problematic. And then
he got to other
Hear him
things.
out.
Yeah, and then he said,
Two sides to everything.
let's say you have a pool of money, and one of the options is buying out the rest of Ben Johnson's contract. Mm-hmm. Or option two is running it back with Ben Johnson and using that money towards NIL or like paying players. Then you got this TV revenue coming in where it's like, what is it, 20-something million a team? Who knows? Like, I don't know what you do. Because everything we've heard the last handful of years is they had a pretty good roster and it was trending the right way. And then they lost a whole bunch of good players because they couldn't afford to keep them.
Yep.
How is that Ben's fault?
It is not.
Right. So that's really tough that we never maybe got to see what he was capable of doing if he actually had a team that he had actually put together.
Correct.
With a fair budget.
Yep.
So is the next coach going to be in the exact same spot?
I mean,
yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, probably. Or does the next coach say, I'm not coming there unless this culture is different?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of coach would take this job, right? Because like these higher end guys would be like, absolutely not. I'm not doing that.
I got a name for you.
Go ahead.
Bobby Knight.
He's dead. He passed away. Yeah, he's dead.
Okay, but I think to Chris's point is how long could we say we have Bobby Knight before everybody else figures it out?
Well, I don't know. Would they announce it at 1:19 in the morning that they hired him?
They might have to.
That would maybe be
a seance.
Yeah, that'd be the best time to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a vampire situation where he can't be seen during the daylight.
What if we hire the ghost hunters and say Bobby Knight is in the room?
Yeah, that would be good.
Come here and here's what he said.
They translate. That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That's what I'm saying.
Bobby's saying run the triangle.
Yeah.
Bobby just threw an invisible chair.
Yeah.
Bobby just got a tech
Bobby,
from the grave.
Don't say those things.
Bob, you can't do that anymore.
Don't call him that, Bobby.
Yeah.
We get
Take
like
a
the
deep breath,
most.
Bobby.
We get the most gullible high ups from like 3M and Best Buy and Medtronic, and they show up to a Gopher game, and then we have the ghost hunters tell them Bobby Knight is touching your shoulder, and now he's squeezing your neck, asking for money.
Right.
You better give him a pretty fat check. Yeah, that sucks for Ben. Such a good dude, man.
Great dude.
That's a tough spot.
Tough spot.
I love him. Good man.
To get NIL money, and then they can just say like football or like hockey, and then would you think Gopher basketball is third on the list?
I think it's second.
Second?
Yep. I think I might be wrong. I think it goes football, basketball, hockey, but I don't know that.
I know for the revenue it's that way,
but maybe not
I don't
NIL.
know about NIL.
Good question. Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, but in with the hockey, it's tough to not want to play at the University of
That's the
Minnesota.
thing.
Yeah, it's like the Duke of basketball.
And also, I know we're big fans of Gopher hockey here in the state of Minnesota, but
Yeah.
if nationally, nobody gives a rat's ass
No
about
one
college
cares.
hockey. You better be locked and loaded as a Big Ten team in basketball, and the Gophers just aren't right now.
That's the other. I don't think NIL is as saturated in hockey as it is in basketball.
No, it's
Not
probably
even
more
close.
concentrated on the big schools.
Oh, that just sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks. I love Ben.
Super
Great
disappointing
dude.
season, though. But again, what are you supposed to
What
do?
are you supposed to do, right?
I don't know.
Maybe Parker will coach him. He's old enough.
He still has 4 years of eligibility left, though.
He's going to play pro. He's going to.
Yeah, what he's going to do?
He's going to play pro. He is.
Is he? He's going to.
He's going to go over to the countries that Max just left. He's going to go raise
my children.
Max is on a
Shout out to Parker.
Yeah, you just cut a deal. He's going to get unlimited street food for 50 cents in Tunisia.
Yeah, that's right.
He's not the stepfather. He's the father that stepped up.
You are
Well
the
played.
stepfather.
Oh, that's great.
She's still stuck. Parker, go pick her up, please.
So good.
Lordy, lordy. Wow. Thomas, you're very laid back today. You all right?
Am I? Oh no, I just kind of came in and then heard you guys talking. I went to California last week.
California.
Yeah.
It's like the 5 down to the 10 to the 12 to the 47.
I went to Manhattan Beach.
here, Devin?
Such a great bit.
One of the all-timers.
Oh, God.
Went to Manhattan Beach. That was cool.
I love Manhattan
It's
Beach,
actually
man.
really sick.
I love that place. That's not a big place. Like, there's not a billion people there.
No, and then you just walk the strip the whole time. It's
I
fantastic.
like that place a lot, and you can get obviously you can walk anywhere you want there, but that's a cool place. That's like the locals' beach, dude.
Yeah, no, it felt that way. So it was cool. Not much else is new with me. Amped about the golf bet being back.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah, really good. I'm just really excited to hear Max's stories. I got a
me
couple
too.
stories for you guys too.
Oh.
For the trip.
Oh.
Off the air?
Mine won't compare.
No, we got nothing you guys haven't heard, but
Shame.
Yeah.
This is him walking Manhattan Beach.
Yeah.
Shame.
Seth's right behind him.
I watched Godfather 1 and 2 on the plane.
No kidding.
Interesting choice.
So good.
All time.
So good.
All time.
Holy hell. It gets you amped.
You know, I love Robert Duvall in that film. I think for some reason he's my favorite character in that film, the consigliere.
Which one is that?
The bald guy.
yeah.
The guy who takes care of business. Robert Duvall. Yeah. He's my fave.
So good.
So good.
It's one of those movies, like, it's obviously so hyped up, and sometimes you watch one of those movies and it just sucks. But 30 minutes into The Godfather, you're like, okay, I see why it's one of the great movies of all time.
That's great.
Interesting choice, though, just out of nowhere. What inspired you to watch it?
It was on the old flight on the thing.
It's a perfect place to watch it because you got to concentrate.
Yeah.
You gotta lock
Right, you gotta lock
there,
it.
man.
Yeah.
You know, he actually did put cotton balls or maybe it was toilet paper in his cheeks to play that role.
Marlon Brando?
Yeah, he did.
Really?
He did, yeah. When he talked to Coppola for the first time about doing the role, Coppola walked in the room and he put that stuff in his face and did the voice, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, you're the guy. You're going to play that role."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's one of those moves if you're not Marlon Brando and you're just Paul Lambert and you go to audition.
Right.
And you walk out and Coppola goes, "Some psychopath just loaded his mouth up with cotton balls and I couldn't hear a word he was saying."
And he fished him out of this public bathroom.
Yeah, that was real gross.
And I asked him to perform consigliere. And he said he doesn't do that. Yeah. And my sources were correct.
Got to shoot your shot, Coppola.
We went to when's the last time have you ever been to Hollywood, like downtown Hollywood?
I never have.
No, I have, yeah.
lived in
The
North
Hulkster
Hollywood.
lived there.
I did.
Yeah, and then I met some people that actually live close to Skid Row. Like actually Skid Row.
That ain't good, man.
No, they said you're on a Lime scooter. Do you know those little scooters?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And they automatically die if you go into Skid Row. Like GPS turns them off.
That is
Really?
Yeah, I heard that,
just because they want to keep them out, because they just know they're gonna get stolen or something if you go in there.
Did you go by Skid Row?
No,
It's like right by Staples Center. It's like right there.
Is it right there?
Yeah.
So we just went to Hollywood, to see that theater and the wax stuff.
And all the people costume. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like it feels like Vegas a little bit. Feels like it, not as cool at all, but felt like it.
Yeah.
Hawk?
Yeah.
What's Skid Row's best song?
I remember you.
Will
But
you
I
sing
like
it?
Wasted Time as well. Woke up to the sound of pouring rain.
Oh, yeah.
The winter was great stuff. Great name for a band, too.
I love the idea of where do you live? A place where the scooters don't run.
Yeah, well played.
Like this force field of just poverty and drugs and mayhem.
Murder and death.
And no scooters.
The cops just park outside the perimeter and just watch it happen, because what are they going to do?
It's a massive area.
Yeah.
On this
So's your
map.
butthole.
Oh, my poor butthole.
Yeah, put some cotton balls in there.
Well, where are you going to put some cotton in your butt? That was Marlon Brando.
Oh, I didn't know. He's back.
Yeah, he's the coach of the Gophers now.
Oh. He wouldn't take that job.
No.
I don't know who's going to.
Who will?
I don't know.
Sebastian Bach.
So NIL has got to be that bad.
It's not good.
It's not good.
No.
I mean, what I read this morning.
I heard Guernsey say it was getting better.
Yeah.
But
we
he didn't say it confidently.
Well, we talked to do you know how we have the collective or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Like you get all the money, but they can say where they want it to go. You know, I think that's the hardest part. Like if they just say they want it for the football team, like, and then that's just tough. And you need someone just strictly working for basketball. God, that would just suck. It'd be so hard. Man. Because think about it. Think that they probably have a list of, well, this is the truth. They have a list of donors, right? Like all the top wallets from Minnesota. And they're already donating to Masonic, right? Or they're already donating to something bigger and better to you. It's hard to say, oh, can you put your $500,000 towards
this kid that shoots 30% from three?
Right.
Instead of putting it towards, like kids with cancer. Like, how are you supposed to do that?
That's a very good point.
I went down there and put $10 in the bucket. They said I was the 5th biggest donor this year.
Wow, congrats.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. I'm like, well, that's not good for anybody.
Getting NIL money into the University of Minnesota Gopher basketball team is trying to get like a Lime scooter into Skid Row.
No, seriously.
You get anywhere near Dinkytown and the money just stops.
Just blows away.
It's the only place in the country where NIL is properly named, because it also spells nil.
Lots going on in sports, actually, man. Tons going on in sports again. This week of NFL free agency has just basically kicked out nonstop news. So much so that buried in the shuffle, not only did the Gophers fire Ben Johnson overnight, our basketball team has it figured out. Not the college basketball team, but god dang, our NBA team's on fire. They smoked Denver last night. We'll talk about that in a second on The Fan.
And Harrison Smith is back. How about that? Morning show. The band's back together. Maxo's here. Tommy's over there telling a story that he's standing up telling, so I can only imagine.
Sports related.
Hey,
all right.
Hey, how's Daddy?
Yeah, baby.
We didn't ask Max the good questions. We really didn't dive in.
We've been diving in.
I think he dove in.
How's the dude situation?
Your mic's on. Your mic's on.
You're right. I did not ask him that question.
That is something that was not discussed. Yeah,
you're so right.
We're leaving out the important questions.
You're right.
Thomas, you would have loved Paris. You would have loved. Literally,
a lot of wee-wee.
Multitude. That would have been your spot, Thomas.
God, do you know what I want to do in Paris? Like,
I do.
Yeah, Eiffel
I
Tower.
think we all know what you want to do in Paris.
Yeah.
Get some French bread. I don't even want to say it.
Big old baguette. Yes.
Jam on there.
No. When you're sitting on the side streets, like one of those, like this is not a joke. A little cafe. Oh, that's what I mean.
It's so cool.
Have a little morning Schwex. Come down onto the street.
Whoa, that's illegal.
Oh, sorry. Walk down.
Those poor people.
Sorry about that,
Walk down to the street. Get a little espresso. And rip a dart right there.
Yeah,
dude, it's and everyone's doing it. It's
and
the
like an
coolest
unbuttoned shirt showing like too much, showing like your belly button.
That's
off.
literally exactly what I was doing out there. It was a dream.
That's the dream.
And people are so free. I will never be as cool as a random French guy on the street smoking a cigarette. Like they're the coolest people on planet Earth, dude.
Tiny
Like,
coffee cup.
But that's why they stay skinny. They don't eat.
Smoking.
They love smoking.
They just smoke heaters instead of eating. It's the dream.
Yeah.
God. But when you gotta like look down to make sure like you're all cleaned up, you know, before you go down there, it's great. It's the best.
It's the best.
I think I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like the Zamboni has to come through before, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh
sure.
They don't shower in France.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the dream.
Yeah.
But like everyone's on the same page. I feel like that's the vibe there.
Have you been there?
No.
Yeah.
No, not even close.
Very close. You're
Is
right.
that it?
That's
Like everyone's
pretty much it.
Honestly, you nailed it right on the head.
It's the happiest place in America.
Right, it's all
It's not in
post-sex vibes.
It's
That's what I feel. And they're sipping in the morning, and then at night it's just a free-for-all with wine. Everyone's drinking wine, and everyone's horny.
Everybody's horny, and everybody's banging heaters, and everybody like I looked homeless just wearing Adidas sweatpants outside. Like everyone had style. Even the people doing manual labor had a little, beret on and a suit. Everybody's got style.
Like pants, like tapered pants. Like they're all fitted.
Yeah, nobody's wearing sneakers out there,
So hot
or baseball hats.
Hot dudes.
yeah.
Back to the point.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you go over the Louvre?
I went in front of it.
So you could stand there where Hitler stood and looked at the Eiffel Tower? No, seriously, man. That's the craziest thing.
It is.
Just stand right there in the exact spot where he stood in that famous picture and like, oh my God, this really happened here where I'm standing.
It's nuts to think when you're just in so many different places in Paris, like all the history that you're walking past and walking underneath. But the line for the Louvre was so nuts. I just wanted to see it from the outside.
Speaking of that general area, watch Gladiator 2.
It's the worst movie of all time.
Holy hell. Have you seen it, Corey?
No, not interested.
I'm okay. It starts out, you're like, oh, okay. You know, a little backstory. It's going to be the son related sister. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's a pretty cool start.
Hawk's seen those films.
Yeah. Yeah, been there. And then you're watching and he's like, all right, the first fight. And you're like, okay, we're back. This is Gladiator. And like, when I don't know, these guys watch it, but when you're watching Gladiator, you don't really pay attention to the show. You're just kind of waiting for the fight scenes. You're like, okay, let's get to the point.
Yep.
And then you get there, and the first scene is a monkey that is like abnormally large, like it's from some sci-fi movie.
I don't know why they did that.
And they have
like a gorilla, or what kind of a monkey?
Not even a real
They're
one.
fake teeth.
That's something that doesn't exist in the
really?
world.
Like a total sci-fi thing, and you're like, okay.
What? Why did I don't know why? And then the sharks, man.
Okay, then that was it.
Why did they do that?
That was it. They had sharks
Yeah,
that
so
were
dumb.
like in 30 feet of water, and they were just coming for like they were literally going for guys, like just going for them.
God,
They
you
left the
wish
women
you were a
alone.
shark.
They were Tommy sharks.
Tommy Shark.
No, but like it made zero sense.
God, was
zero.
I pissed at that movie.
I'm not kidding. I turned it off.
I was so pissed at that
All
movie.
Tommy is waiting for is just shirtless dudes.
I wanted to post fight, all sweaty in the locker room, just waiting. Waiting to watch it and wondering why.
Terrible. Did you get far enough to watch him go from "I hate you, mom" to "I love you, mom" in about 13 seconds?
No, that's when I was right at the shark. I turned it off.
That was the right spot to turn it off.
because
Believe it or not, it got worse from there.
or like how they hired the two to just fight to the death. It was just made no sense. Nothing made sense.
Nothing made sense.
And it was I was hoping for a little swag scene. None of that.
Yeah, him and his mom or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah, I know.
They were hyping that up the whole time.
Happen, I know.
Every dude that watched that 30 to 55 were waiting for a sex scene with the mom and son.
Jesus.
Every guy.
Please make sure you're not saying "looking forward to." You were expecting it to happen. Though.
Looking forward to.
What is it?
Yeah.
You were just waiting for a 300 style fight.
Just so you know, Tommy, when you use the wink, it's supposed to be like just a subtle thing, not a whole body thing.
Whole body wing.
Yeah, Tommy then turned on 300 and was dehydrated in about 2
That's the
minutes.
best movie of all time.
Oh, that movie's so good.
Such a good movie.
Oh. Time
good.
now for Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
The bakery meal deal at Holiday. You can get a couple of donuts, a couple of ring donuts, and a medium hot coffee. Ask for that bakery meal deal this morning. When you go to Holiday for a limited time, who doesn't want a couple of donuts and a coffee? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, the best.
I want donuts.
I love donuts.
The Minnesota Timberwolves are red hot. 115 to 95. They beat the Nuggets by 20 in Denver. That is their sixth straight win, and the 11th straight win when Julius Randle plays, who also played phenomenally last night. 25 points on 9 of 12 shooting. The Wolves are 3-0 against Denver this season.
Oh, my God.
They held Denver to 7 of 30 from 3. That's just 23.3%. And the Wolves outscored them in each and every quarter, 4 for 4. Joker, 34 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. But a couple of those numbers, the rebound numbers and assist numbers, are under his average because he basically averages a triple-double, which is insane. 5-game homestand now for the Timberwolves. They host Orlando tomorrow at 7 o'clock. But they still are 7th in the West because the Warriors just won't lose.
Warriors.
So we're tied in terms of how many games back we are, but they have 1 fewer win and 1 fewer loss, the Warriors do, than the Wolves. So they have a percentage advantage over the Timberwolves. So they are currently in 6th, but Wolves are absolutely firing on all cylinders right now.
Yeah. So we're figuring it out right at the right time.
Yep,
Perfect
and we're healthy because DiVincenzo's back, Randall's back, everybody's back.
It's happening.
And they look legit again.
I like D.
Quit reading Tommy's text.
I go, me.
Harrison Smith returning to the Minnesota Vikings for a 14th season, a $10.25 million contract with up to $3.75 million in incentives. 36 years old, was a first-rounder in 2012, 6-time Pro Bowler, 37 career interceptions, 20.5 sacks. So,
I would love to, and I will at some point, but I would love to talk to him this morning and just say, okay, when did you change your mind? Like, how many weeks after the season did you finally realize you liked playing football again? Because there's no doubt when Ben and I were standing there beside him, he was retiring.
Yeah.
He was done. He didn't close the door because he wouldn't say he was closing the door. But he was, Ben, all three of us were crying standing right there.
But you also wonder, too, if this, it's like a Myles Garrett thing where Garrett's like, I want out of Cleveland because I don't want to be a loser. I want to play for a winner. And then they threw him like $40 million and he changed his mind. This is different because this team is loaded.
Yeah. Loaded.
If this team was on the brink of being 3-14, I think Harrison would be like, we're not going anywhere. I know there's a lot of money left. I can get $10 million to come back, but I'm just going to put my body through hell and we're going nowhere. This is the opposite. This is like if JJ's good, everything is lining up. This team looks on paper to be unbelievably stacked. Jump back in for one more.
Right.
Why not? $10.25 million. Let's go.
10 schmil.
10 schmil.
Yeah, and he's a captain. Yeah, all that.
Right.
Yeah. He's great.
Yep, late last night,
cool.
I guess technically early this morning, the Gophers announced they fired head coach Ben Johnson.
Damn it. We love you, Ben. You did your best, man. You know, I can't imagine how hard and how many hours that guy worked his ass off.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
And that follows yesterday's disappointing loss. They lost 72-64 to Northwestern, so they are out of the Big Ten tournament. That was round 1. So they lost to a bad team.
Does it sound disappointing?
72-64. That one's no good. Odikali the rebound. He'll bring it up into the offensive end. Femi stops, pops a 3, short. Barry the rebound, no foul. The horn sounds, and that is it. Northwestern beats Minnesota 72-64. The final score.
Oh, somebody.
Matt Grimm. What's his name?
Matt Grimm.
Mark Matt.
So now it's Grimmer's off season. He's got, think how long Grimmer's season is.
Doesn't he do a sport now? Does he not do baseball or something?
No.
Holy balls, look at him.
So he's off now
Man.
until the fall.
I bet it takes him 2 weeks to feel like normal again before he realizes what it's like to
like
not have to
Zach
work every
when
day.
daylight savings shows up.
No, he's still not recovered. He doesn't get recovered until it's the next daylight savings time again.
Oh, did I tell you guys? I took the red eye home on Monday
Why?
and then daylight savings times hit. Man, that was a meat grinder.
So Monday or Monday?
Sunday, so left L.A. at 11 o'clock, landed here at 5:45 in the morning.
I did
Monday
very
morning?
similar.
And then you go right to work.
I did very similar the night before, but I didn't have to go to work.
Yeah.
I went from Vegas to here on the red eye.
Yeah, that's a meat grinder.
Yeah. Good. You went straight to work.
Sure did. I actually went and got a grinder and then went to work.
You went on the app grinder and then went to work?
I went to Lifetime and then I went to work.
What the hell is a grinder?
Oh, meat grinder, a workout.
Oh.
Okay.
Why did you just go?
Stop. Is he winking this with his whole body again?
He's performing something on the microphone.
I'm going to write down full body wink because I like that. That's a good line.
That's a good line.
It's a full
But
body
now we're
wink.
at spring ball for football. Isn't that great? We're back, baby.
We're something.
Oh, buckle up for this season.
There's some buckling going on.
The Rams released wide receiver Cooper Kupp, and according to Adam Schefter and others, there's about half the league is interested in him. But
come on home, baby.
Sauce, you still think we have a chance or not?
I do. I think this is his best landing spot. Now, I think what some of these teams that desperately need wide receiver will overpay for him. But him and KOC and Wes Phillips put him on one of the best seasons in wide receiver history. He knows the offense. He can play 8 games, 8 or 9, whatever it is, indoors. This is a loaded football team, man. The only question mark is the quarterback. The offensive line is one of the best offensive lines they've had in years. The defensive line and the defensive line rotation is a madhouse.
How can we question Aaron Rodgers all this time into his career? What do you mean the question mark is a quarterback?
Well, that's, how about that? That won't die.
I know. I know it, man.
And somebody pointed out yesterday.
That's going to blow so hard if he signs here.
Somebody
it ruins the whole offseason.
Would it though?
Yeah, it would.
You know how dialed he is?
He's not dialed. He sucked last year. Did you see? SportsCenter just broke down the stats. Since 2018, they posted the winning percentages of Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold, and Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. And the worst winning percentage as a starter of the 3 was Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
He's terrible.
I'm going on record. Are you ready?
Yes.
Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
If he'll win us a Super Bowl, welcome home, baby.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
But Cork, can I make one argument?
Yeah.
He had a torn Achilles the whole offseason.
Yeah, what are you going to do about your
He wasn't able to throw the ball at all.
Right.
Now he has a full offseason, and he was ready to go.
He's 63 years old.
I know.
Yeah,
and he shows it.
But he's got a...
The guy has one of the best arms to ever live.
Yeah, 10 years ago, this lineup in a prime MVP level Aaron Rodgers, they'd be unstoppable.
They'd lose one game.
He was terrible last year.
I know.
But he's
really bad.
And JJ's a dog. I think he's going to be a top 5 quarterback this year.
From a sports radio perspective, it's going to be so juicy. So juicy.
That's
the dream.
I mean, come on.
The dream.
Oh, man.
You think our ratings are big now?
Right.
You just wait till Aaron Rodgers is calling this show.
Why would it matter?
God.
Why does it matter?
You're right. It don't. But we'll be famous. Brilliant. I'll make you famous.
So, all right, all bit aside, yes or no, does Aaron Rodgers end up on the Vikings? Sauce?
Can I answer your question with something I saw yesterday that makes a lot of sense, or you just want me to say yes or no?
Let's start with yes or no.
Right now.
Let's start with yes or no.
Do I think he ends up on the team? Man, it's not 0. I'll say, can I say maybe?
No.
Would you just answer the question?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, my God. Tommy?
No.
Chris?
I'm going to tell you, I think it's going to happen.
Oh, gross.
You guys, that's how much steam there is that you guys are thinking
it kind of feels like it's happening, y'all. Like, when there's smoke, there's fire with these things. Like, we heard about Karl Anthony Towns and the Knicks for years before it happened, and now all of a sudden, every reporter in town and even national reporters like Diana Rossini are saying it's not no.
And here's the other thing too that was pointed out by a couple people yesterday is like, if they could easily put an end to this, if they last night had signed Mac Jones, we would have all moved on. The backup quarterbacks that they are looking at dwindle by the second. They control this. They could easily, they're not going to come out and say, JJ's QB1, but they could sign Gardner Minshew. They could sign Jameis Winston. They haven't. If
they sign Aaron Rodgers, what do you do if you're JJ?
I mean, I don't.
You bow to the king.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying is, what are we doing? Didn't we just not re-sign Sam Darnold after an unbelievable year because we wanted to hand over the reins to the kid?
I'm going to tell you, Aaron Rodgers is better than Sam Darnold.
Not right now, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Not even close.
He's significantly cheaper, though.
Yes, he is.
Sam Darnold right now is better than Aaron Rodgers.
He's not.
Yes, he is.
He is not. He is not.
Oh, my God, it's not even close.
He is not.
Look at us.
Look at all the numbers last year.
He is not.
Rodgers was brutal last year.
I know he had a bad year, but So did
maybe
Tommy.
Alex Daddy knows.
Tommy.
The problem, though, is if it's going to go, it's not an 8-8 season is not what they want, right? This is either going to go great or it's going to be an absolute disaster about 4 weeks in.
Give me a second. Do you guys remember when Troy Dilfer, what the hell the kid's name was?
Trent Dilfer.
Whatever. When he won the Super Bowl?
Troy Dilfer.
Don't question me, ballsack.
You were going to call me something real mean. Yeah, you had a
Brett Favre was 39 or 40 years old when he got here. Aaron Rodgers is 41. All he's got to do is stand behind a fantastic offensive line and throw the ball somewhere near two great wide receivers and a great tight end, or hand the ball to the rookie we draft.
Let the kid do that. Let JJ do that.
Don't tell me what to do, Burkus.
Yeah, Burkus.
Everything you just said, we can let JJ do it.
Okay, because Favre was at the Jets before, right?
Yeah.
Before he came here.
And he was asked, too, with the Jets, wasn't he?
An arm injury,
Yeah, and Rodgers had an Achilles. It might be working, but I want
I'd be
JJ
so
to
mad.
be the good. I want because
Same. Let the kid do it.
And everyone says how good he is, and it's just
I'm fine either way.
I'm gonna ask you this question, Corey. Just play along for a second. If they told you, if the Lord came down and said, "I told you I was real," and
I got a lot of questions.
and then he said, "By the way, yeah, you're going to hell." There is a hell you're going. And then he
Quit
said,
doing that. I can see you.
and then he said, "You guys are signing Aaron Rodgers, and you are going to win a Super Bowl." What are you going to say?
Oh man, I mean,
You wouldn't take the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers.
oh boy, yeah. I mean, of course I would.
Yes, of
but
course you would.
I just don't think I don't think he's even close to a guarantee, and I don't think he's worth the headache.
Well, we'll let the
He
the
was
quarterback whisperer
terrible
decide.
last year.
Yeah, because you could spend the money on something else, right? Something big.
It's not that much money.
I don't think it's going to
It's not
cost
that
a
much
lot.
money at all.
I don't
So
think
it's not a money thing.
No.
Get Cooper Cup.
Can't wait to
Get him
have
too. Would you
rather have
Lieber
Cup
react to
than
this in a little bit too, but I'd rather have Cup
Cup
for sure.
and Rodgers.
I'd rather have Cup.
I'd rather have Cup.
Yeah.
Not
Cup-
even close.
Cup-
Let the kid
yeah,
have Cup.
Cup would
Addison
be-
and
How about
JJ.
two girls and
But
one
we
cup?
have to get rid of Addison.
Cup would be perfect.
Don't have to though.
Cup would be
Wide receiver
perfect for JJ.
If we had Cup, it's ball game.
Yeah.
I'll put $1,000 on the Vikings to win the Super Bowl if we do it. $1,000.
If we have JJ,
If Cup
throw
comes
into
here,
those three.
I will literally show you the receipt of $1,000 going into bet.
What really matters is next. Ben Lieber should be here in like 5 minutes or so. We can ask him about the Aaron Rodgers rumors that just won't go away. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
I want Aaron Rodgers on my team. I want Aaron Rodgers. I want Aaron Rodgers on my squad. I want Aaron. I want Aaron. I want Aaron Rodgers. I want Aaron Rodgers. I want Aaron Rodgers. Hi, it's Power Trip Morning Show. Welcome back. Your I want Aaron Rodgers as my team leader.
Didn't you like a week ago say you wanted nothing to do with him?
I think we all did.
Yeah.
And that's before I thought it was a possibility. Now I'm all in. Now I believe we built a squad just to protect him. I think we're ready to go.
Benjamin.
I am shocked that of all the people in here, that Hawk is the one that's like, yep, I think it's going to happen, and I want it to happen. I'm like,
I think it's going to happen, and I want it to happen.
wow.
Your thoughts?
I still don't think it's going to happen, and I definitely don't want it to happen.
I would do anything for a Super Bowl at this point.
Well, Court, I think the one thing we got to remember, off the field stuff aside, and because I think in the locker room, I think guys actually would like him. I think if someone told you that you could get a Hall of Fame quarterback for a year, it'd be hard to say no.
In their Hall of Fame level, sure.
Okay,
that's
but
not what he's at
let's
anymore.
Let's go back to 2008 when Favre was down and out with the Jets, and like you said, if you have a chance to get Favre, would you be this negative about getting?
Oh, I
Favre?
was super negative about it at the time.
Were
I
you
wanted
really?
nothing to do with Favre.
So it's very similar.
But that was the Rube in me. I was like, I'm not cheering for Brett Favre.
But is
I
there
didn't have any.
Rube still? Is there a little core in there thinking about it?
Probably not. It's to me.
Real
It's more.
little.
Ben, do you have Ben, do you think he still take all of the politics out of this? Take all of the locker room stuff out of this.
all the off the field
Just
stuff.
talk about. Does Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, still have it enough to go all in, or should we give it to JJ? Like, is the player worth the risk?
No.
See, I agree. I don't think he's got it anymore.
I really don't. I think And I would say this. He played better in the second half of the season than I think most people think. It was, as Sauce would say, a dumpster fire over there, right? There was negativity all over the place. But I do think that he has something left in the tank, but I'm with you, Corey. I don't think that he would. Now, again, this would be a different team than last year with Darnold. I don't think he's any better than Sam Darnold would have played last year.
Right.
Sam played unbelievably in points in the season. Now, he had a couple bad games, but every quarterback's going to have a couple bad games. But I don't think that you can. The thing is, you can't look at this in a complete silo of on the field versus off the field. Holistically, you have to look at it in totality.
Yep.
Is the player, and you have to do this with every player, is the player worth it from an on the field and an off the field situation? Now, look, a lot of the off the field stuff doesn't bother me, but when you look at building a roster and the chemistry, and we talk about the culture of this team so often, like one of the biggest strengths that KOC's developed here is a culture. Do you think he's going to fit that culture? I don't personally. I think it sort of diminishes a lot of the work that you've put in here. Now, he could go out there and he could have a little magic left in him. He could play behind this revamped offensive line, and on paper, he could have a lot more time. He's not as athletic. I mean, if you hated Kirk Cousins for his lack of mobility, you're going to hate watching Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if he's behind a good offensive line or not. Quarterbacks get pressured. They just do. There's blitzes. This happens. This is a breakdown. You're going to need a quarterback that can get out of trouble at times. I don't think that he has that capability anymore. Can he make some wow throws? Every game you watch him, you're like, there's about 3 or 4 throws. Like, damn, that was a throw. I think JJ can do the same thing and get out of trouble and has escapability, and he's got that leadership dog in him that everybody talks about. God. I don't know why you want to suppress that so early. Let the kid go. And if it doesn't happen in the Super Bowl this year, well, fine. It was never about in 2009, it was about, we have one chance at this. We are building this thing up to have a bigger window and to kick the door open a little bit more. This is not about just 2025 to me. I think this is about 2025 to 2030.
JJ.
And it's JJ.
I think it felt that way right now because Harry just signed. Because it's like one last dance with Harry. And it's just like, all right, now we got Harry back. Maybe we got to sell out.
Let me be honest, though, with you.
You think Harry's got more than 1 year left?
No. Why can't Harry be excited about JJ?
100%. I'm not knocking JJ.
He's watched JJ all. I mean, JJ's been around the facility a lot more than the public probably thinks with his injury. I'm like, he didn't make public appearances on Sundays, but he was there doing all the stuff, and people are around him. I mean, I've got it on pretty good authority that Harrison, like a lot of the players, love JJ. Love JJ.
JJ seems to be out with everyone. I feel the same way. I couldn't agree more.
I mean, it may not be immediate success like Washington had with their quarterback, but I think they really like his upside and they really like the dude.
Tell you what, went down a rabbit hole watching JJ highlights last night because I was so into it.
He can rip it, man.
My God, is he a dog?
Did you watch football highlights?
No, I'm telling you. He's an athlete, too.
Yeah,
I know.
I think we have an embarrassment of riches right now. We are good to go. Either way, we're fine, but it's fun thinking about it. God, it's fun. Because think about it, Ben. If it's a Hall of Famer, though, right? So I understand. I think it would only help JJ, too, if he came here. It would not hurt him. It would not.
I from a personal standpoint and from an on-the-field X's and O's, yes, I think it would help to have another person like that. Fundamentally, though, no. Look what he's done to Jordan Love. Jordan Love is a hot mess when it comes to throwing the football. I mean, his feet are all everywhere. He tries to mimic Aaron Rodgers. Like, dude, just be your own quarterback. Yeah. Just be your own dude.
Right. And their plan from the start was to have a young quarterback and build a team around.
And what does it seems like KOC hate the most when it comes to quarterback is when guys their fundamentals are all wonky. What did he talk about all the time with Sam Darnold? When he was going through his bad stretch, he's like, we got to get his feet and his eyes work together. He wants to have...
And not let the bad mistakes pile up.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And that's being JJ, he's probably... KOC's been molding this guy for a year now.
Yes.
Just molding him.
Aaron Rodgers comes in and, like, are you going to tell him, like, hey, let's work on your fundamentals at 41 years old? No. He's going to say, let me do my thing, just like Favre did with Childress.
But the Steelers reportedly have an offer out to Rodgers, and Rodgers is thinking about accepting it. But
for the Steelers?
Yeah, the Steelers.
Here's the other thing with Rodgers. Why does he have to make a decision right now?
Doesn't have to.
The draft is 5-6 weeks away,
and it's just a voice.
Everybody's like, "Oh, we're on Rodgers' watch." Why, dude? He could take 4 weeks to make a decision.
And he gets another 4 weeks off then of not being affiliated. You know?
Aaron Rodgers, our savior true. He's the one who gets it done. You know, winning is what he does. With him, we'll win. Just trust. Aaron Rodgers, we're counting on. With their faithful, we'll be on. Taking us to the promised land. Put that trophy in his hand. We stand proud and
Is that a keyboard guitar? What was that?
That was rock and roll.
Yeah,
That's the song I'm going to play when we sign Aaron.
Yeah. Did you change your mind off of that, Core?
No.
Come on, you want it now, don't you?
I'm more excited for Cup. I think if we get Cooper Cup Super Bowl,
that'd be sick.
Period.
That would be sick.
That'd be the most lethal. Okay, we would have more loaded wide receivers than Randy Moss, Chris Carter, and Jake Reed. It'd be more loaded.
No, that's
yes, we would. No, it's not. That's a more loaded. That's more stacked.
What really matters after this? Ryan Jeffers in like 45 minutes as well.
with you, we're unstoppable, you see. Through the storms and through the rain, he's always there, a shining light again, guiding us to the promised land, where we'll hold the trophy grand. Aaron Rodgers, let's plan the parade. Bring
The Fan.
Welcome back, Archer Morning Show, 646. I've already put a helicopter in the sky, we're just waiting for him to arrive so we can follow him from the airport. Tommy Olson's here. Ben Lieber's here. Maxx is back.
Hogs Day, I might be out. I might be back on JJ. I can't make my mind up. I'm so excited that
it's
I can't. What I'm thinking, and I can't stop thinking about, if we get Cup and we have 3 of the top 10, 15 receivers in the NFL on one team, I don't know how a defense gets ready to play us with Hawk, Aaron Jones, and then those 3 receivers. I don't know what you do. I truly don't.
I know.
You can't, because then you have Addison and Cup and Hawk all getting single covered.
That's right, and imagine you got that guy standing back there just standing there.
But JJ, I'm telling you, JJ's just as good. JJ's a dog.
I'm not saying he's not a dog. I'm just saying.
And then you got Aaron Jones with this new running attack. Our offensive line's we're gonna be able to just mash it. What if we just run the ball 30 times a game? Like that's a true possibility.
I would love that. Right. I would love that option.
Right?
Even if it's like 1 out of every 4 games, we just go smash mouth.
God, dogs are just dogs. Let the dogs eat.
Yeah, because that center looks like he's
So think about it. That's what JJ's known. That's how JJ went through college. And then when JJ needs to make a dart, first down.
Your mic's on.
I wonder, Tommy, I wonder if we can get, because, now that KOC is like a big fan of the show, and he's probably going to play initials again before the season starts. I wonder if he'd bring you in for like a little hype speech on the Saturday night.
Tell me when.
Yeah, you're like the Tony Robbins of the Minnesota Vikings.
We had pants on the ground guy before one of the games.
Yeah, like Tommy was amazing.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
That'd be great.
Why isn't everybody doing the dance?
I would love that.
Yeah. You know what? Can we wait till the guys get out of the shower, Tommy?
You guys need a towel guy.
Thomas, that's not a microphone.
Tommy, the game's been over for 3 hours.
Yeah,
Get
go
out.
home.
Get out of here.
All right, what really matters? Scores and stats around the world of sports in between. Chris will change your life with something else. We'll start with Wild News presented by Catalyst and CatalystSupplyCo.com. Thanks, Catalyst. The Wild host the Rangers tonight at 7 o'clock. The Wild are coming off a 2-1 shootout win over Colorado. Rangers are falling apart. I believe they've lost their last 4. I don't think they played last night. Rangers have lost their last 4. The Wild are 37-24-4. Let's keep it going here. Let's go. But what really matters is this.
The last we heard from Max, he was in Malta.
Yes, sir.
Where did you go after that?
I went from Malta to Belgium, met up with my friend that works for the airline, who is an SOB, because he went to Belgium for 30 cents.
Really?
Yes.
That's how much it cost him?
That's how much it cost him. 30 cents.
Jeez.
Such a sweet gig.
How's Belgium?
It's cool. It's like the Minnesota of Europe. It's not a bad place to be.
So Aaron Rodgers is headed there?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is signing the papers right now in Belgium as we speak. It's not a bad place to be. There's a lot of really beautiful, like green, lush landscapes, but it is kind of super industrial in the actual city of Brussels itself. And they charge people to use the bathroom, so it smells like piss.
Really?
Everywhere.
Wow.
Everywhere.
That's a real selling point.
Yeah. And I'm not, smells like piss, very industrial, but people were kind. It's very touristy, but it was mostly just a good hub for us to go to other places. So,
yeah.
Yeah, we spent the day in Brussels, and then the next day we took a train to Amsterdam. And surprise, surprise, the guy that loves weed and women and bikes to work loves Amsterdam. It was one of my favorite places I've ever been in my entire life. And as I was saying to you, Hawk, off the air, it's one of the closest I've ever seen to like a perfect society. Obviously, I was there for like 12 hours, but it was incredible.
Great.
It's the best.
Ben.
I have a question when it comes to just taking the Amsterdam lifestyle into effect, right?
Yeah.
And like really getting after it. You know, when people go to, let's just say Germany, or they even here, if you're going to go to like a beer festival, the thing with alcohol is like you can have a stout and then like, oh, that's kind of good. Yeah. Then you got like an amber, and you can have 5-6 different varieties of beer and in the same location. If you go to Amsterdam and you're ripping joints, you're only like, it's not like you're having a smorgasbord of different joints, right?
No, they do. It's like McDonald's, brother. They got everything on the menu.
But your body can probably only handle, and you're only going to feel the effects.
I tested the limit. Let me tell you, I pushed it to the limit, brother.
Yeah, listen to the Hulkster.
Am I not thinking about it the right way? Because I would think that you'd make one decision, like, oh man, there's a lot of great weed here. You make one decision on the Amsterdam, I don't know, Wowie or something. And you're like, you rip that, you finish it, and you're like, well, I'm going to feel the effects of this now for the next 3 hours.
Yeah.
Before I can go on to the next type of weed.
Yeah, you're not doing it like all at once necessarily. We just kind of bounced around to different spots. But yeah, I mean, and it's powerful stuff. I mean, it could have been called Mike Tyson Kush because it knocked me the bleep out. But my eyes were completely closed. But it was amazing though. But you just kind of bounce around and you try different stuff from different places. And we actually ended up one of the last places that we went. We went to this. Because of course when we're on a time limit, we're about to catch our train. All of a sudden, we couldn't find anywhere to smoke, and we finally found this place. And we're sitting next to a guy who, I mean, he's like convulsing because they just have weed bars and you just kind of sit and hang out. It's not like a bar like at home. You wouldn't just sit at a table with a random guy. Everybody's high. So it's just like, hey, what's up, man? And this guy, I can't show the listeners, but he was like convulsing. His eyes were like in the back of his head. He's and he's like aggressively rubbing his temples. And my friend is like, let's get the hell out of here. And I'm like, let's stay. I want to see what's up with this guy.
Oh my God.
And all of a sudden he stops on a dime and he looks at me and he goes, may I ask you a question? And I'm like, sure, man. Jesus. He's like, are you the son of Pilatus? And I was just like, nah, never heard of him. And he's just like, oh, yes, he passed long ago. He passed long ago, but I will bring him back. and he'll be much taller and he'll have even bigger hair than you. And my friend was again like, let's get the hell out of here. Wow. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you bring people back from the dead. And he's like, yes, I've done it 7, 8, 9 times. I'm like, well, you'd think you would know. That's a pretty miraculous thing that you're pulling off. You'd think you'd have like a specific number in your head, but whatever. And he's like, I bring them back and they're so happy. They just smile and they dance and then they never die again. They'll never die again. And by the way, because you met me, you'll never die. He's like, you'll only. I know. I was like, I came in here for a joint. I leave with eternal life.
So just to clarify, this is the perfect society?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What the hell are we talking about?
Amsterdam's sweet.
Yeah, it's amazing. Cool. And he called himself the Great Waldo. That was his name that he went by, and he said, "I'll never die again. Again. I don't." He said again, so maybe I died before. Yeah. And he said, "I'll only get taller and have bigger hair." Wow. And then he was like talking to me the whole time, and then just as like a throw in, he looks at my friend and he goes, yes, you as well. I'm like, even better, BOGO on immortality. This is sweet. And it was like the very last thing that happened to us in Amsterdam. It was the perfect ending to the day. It was incredible.
Great. Yeah, great spot.
Well, congratulations.
Hey, thanks.
You're gonna live forever.
I know, it's pretty sweet.
All right, Benjamin, it's been a busy week. Let's rapid fire a couple of names. I just want your quick Twitch thoughts on some things that we haven't had a chance to ask you about yet. Let's go basically through the free agents this week. Jonathan Allen.
Love it. Love it. I mean, he had early on when there was the thought of him being released. I mean, with the Minnesota connection, it was like, there's an obvious connection. Is it going to happen? And it does sound like the steam kept picking up. And yeah, we're going to get a great interior disruptor.
Will Fries.
Long been rumored to come here. Can't believe they pulled it off. This is an area both with he and Kelly that we need to solidify our offensive line. I mean, the jumping ahead to the Ryan Kelly thing is it does open up the next question of what are we going to do with Garrett Bradbury? What's the ultimate plan? Is one going to move to guard? Are we keeping both? If not, are we looking to increase our draft equity? Like, what's that going to look like? So it could be, a swap at center, or it could be, we found our other guard.
Isaiah Rodgers.
I didn't know much about him, but it seems like when you go on the message boards and you look at a lot of the Philadelphia replies, like a lot of people are sad that he's going. I mean, I think he was really liked. They really liked his play, and it's an area of need that we needed. Obviously, secondary. And the thing about the secondary situations, and so glad we got Murphy back, but the way that we've built this defensive front, I mean, I think Tommy could go out there and play corner. I mean, line him up, get those long arms
Little
right in front of him. Yeah, he loves the hug man coverage.
Holding.
Tommy,
Did you not hear the whistle?
So yeah, I'm excited about it.
Javon Hargrave yesterday officially 2 years, $30 million, $19 million guaranteed.
Wow, man.
So I would say the thing that I really enjoy about all of these interior signings, both offense and defense, it sounds like we have, I know we keep using this word, but we have dogs. We have four interior guys that play with attitude.
Just angry.
And I think, that is, look, we all want guys that we can relate to, that are nice. But when you step on that field, there has to be a part of you that's got to be a little bit of a prick. And I think that the way I understand all four of these guys, they all play with that edge. And I think that we've missed that. And so Hargrave, I actually didn't think that we were going to have a chance to get him. And the fact that the Niners are jettisoning everybody so they can sign Purdy, which is it's a weird weight to have on your shoulders if you're Brock Purdy. But yeah, I'm super excited about what we can do up front because, I mean, again, Tommy, to bring you in this on a serious note, think about this from an offensive line standpoint. In our base 3-4, who are you going to use the tight end and running back to chip and to double team? I mean, you really want to have all five of your offensive linemen just block our guys one-on-one? You can't do that for 4 quarters. There's no way. And now, and I get that all 5 guys are going to be playing every single snap together, and we're going to have a rotation of players. But the point is, we've got 5 guys up front along with Harrison Phillips. And I know that people can probably clown me for this, but he's a better rusher. He's a better rusher than you think. He's a great run stopper, but when he's singled up and he gets fresh legs in there on a rotation, that dude can get vertical. So you get him with Hargrave, with Allen, and then you get Grenard and Gink on the outside, and you get IP screaming down and blasting some running back in the face. Like,
what do you do?
What do you do?
Can you imagine middle drill? Like at practice?
No.
You guys, I want to go to practice just to watch middle drill. It's going to be insane. So it's just running. So it's like the front 7 on each side.
No. Middle.
And there's 8 to 10 plays. Ben will tell you it's like the worst part of practice, but like it's the best part of practice for like coaches. You just line up and go. It's just running the ball, and the defense is coming downhill. The offensive line just tries to do their best, but it's just the biggest mashups. It's probably the most physical you get at practice.
They still do that?
I don't know if they do that
NFL?
anymore.
Oh yeah, they do it.
They still do middle?
They do 9-on-7. Yeah.
Wow.
God. I mean,
could you imagine watching this year? How great that's going to be.
Super fun.
Just see like the development of like the interior offensive line, like from the first practice to like the 15th.
Yeah.
Them working together. Oh my God.
Just angry. I just like the fact that we have an angry offense and defensive line.
Every picture I've seen of Ryan Kelly, I don't think I've seen him smile. He just looks like this thick, straight-faced guy that you want running an offensive line. You're like, that guy's a football player. It just looks different.
The news is next. Ryan Jeffers a little bit later than normal today, about 7:30 or so, live from spring training. Minnesota Twins stud Ryan Jeffers. More with Ben Lieber and Tommy Olson after this on The Fan.